Peggy from PrettyPaperCards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today with my little Yorkshire Terrier, Ellie. We are here to make a card with you and to show you some fun new things. And I am so glad that you're stopping by, whether on YouTube watching the replay or live. I'm so happy to have you. How is your weather where you are today? I always chat about the weather, and today it's over 100 here in Escondido, California. We're in the northern part of San Diego County, and all I can say is I'm staying in the house and my air conditioner is on, and I'm happy. We're both happy. And when Ellie goes out, she races out and races right back in because her little paws get hot out there on the cement. So I'm just going to check and see if we're broadcasting correctly. Okay, I see that we are. That's good. And I'd love to see who's here and let me know. Linda, how are you? Good to see you today. How is the weather where you are? Is it hot where you are? I think it's kind of hot all over the country. This is the time of year when it's just pretty hot. The whole of August, the end of the summer. Yeah. So we have stuff to talk about today. We are going to talk about sparkle and glitz and the Be Dazzling paper that you can get for free during celebration. You know, August and September this year is our big sale that we also have in January and February called Celebration. And for every $50 you order, you get to choose one free item from the Celebration catalog. And this is I like a lot of what's in there. I do. But right now, this is my very favorite thing. It's called Be Dazzling. And I've been showing it to you if you've been on hot with severe thunderstorms in Virginia. Oh my goodness. Take care there, Linda. This should brighten you up. This sparkle should totally brighten you up. So we're going to use this today, and we're going to learn how to color it. I'm going to give you a little hint if you'd like to color this paper. Now, I also want to let you know that Stampin' Up! Has told us that they only have a certain amount of the Be Dazzling paper. So when it's gone, it's gone. And if you're interested in it, you get 8 sheets of 6x6. And if you're interested, place your order right away, early in August, because I'm thinking by September, the second month of celebration, that it might be gone. Because you did order it. Good job, Linda. Well, I'm going to show you today how to color it. What else is going on? Oh, prizes. Okay, last week I offered a wonderful brand new set of brushed metallic adhesive back dots. And they're in 3 different colors. I think it's copper, gold, and brass, something like that. And I had lots of comments last week. It was for anybody who commented would be put in the drawing. And Robbie Raher won the adhesive back dots. She lives in San Diego, actually in Escondido, so I will get these to her. But I just want to encourage you, I'm giving my prizes now for anybody who leaves a comment. And then I choose one person random. Ellie is dropping down here. So next week, my prize is going to be a package of 40, I think we get in here 40 basic white medium envelopes. And I know a lot of you use other envelopes, but I just want to encourage you. These beautiful envelopes go with all of our A2 size cards, and they fit so perfectly. They're lovely envelopes, and so I want to give a pack to one person who comments. I'll do the random drawing again. I use the random number generator. Thank you, Kay, for sharing. Good to see you from North Carolina. And help me remember to say this again at the end, because I think some people pop on a little bit later. So I'm going to put Ellie down. She's actually getting a little heavy because I have to hold her up high to get her in the camera. And she is ready to take her nap. We brushed. I brushed her and put a pretty bow in, so she's ready to take her nap. What else is going on? The mini retreat. Okay, here in Escondido, we're having a local mini retreat using the Whimsy and Wonder suite, and it's on August 21st. But if you're not local, I'm also offering this as my class to go for this month, for the month of August. So you still have time to register for the class to go. Just email me and let me know, and I'll get you all set up. It's $76 for the bundle. You get the Whimsical Trees bundle, which is the dies and the stamp set, or $50 for just the stamp set. And you get, I think we're doing 6 different cards. You get the materials plus the PDFs. You get a half a package of the Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper. You get a package of snowflakes, all kinds of goodies. So if you want to register, just email me at Peggy@prettypapercards.com or leave me a comment here, and I'll get you all set up. And then I do have to add for shipping, so it's $8 additional for shipping, or yeah, $8. But I think you're gonna love it, and we are making so many cute things. And I've used this stamp set to make a sample showing the colored Be Dazzling paper, and this is the sample card, and it uses the Whimsy and Wonder bundle, Whimsical Trees they call it. So I'm going to turn the camera down real quick to show you so that you can see this card and see how pretty it is. So here is the beautiful Be Dazzling paper, and I did this I think yes, Linda, Ellie was bored. And this is not like any glimmer paper we've ever had before. This is beautiful. Do you see? It's something different, and it's just gorgeous. And so this is what we're going to use today and learn how to color. And this is the card I made using the Whimsical Trees bundle. The stamps, that's a darling little ornament set that drops down, and then these beautiful, there are so many tree dies and tree stamp sets. Hi Allison, good to see you. Yes, Be Dazzling, you're gonna love this paper. And this is an interesting die that can go on top of a tree, or it can go just on its own. And I've cut these out, and here is your Be Dazzling paper. Can you see how I've done an ombre effect? Here is the way it normally looks, the gold, and then you move up, and I use the polished pink color, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And on the back, the base piece there is Evening Evergreen, one of our new in colors, and it's been embossed with a time-worn texture embossing folder, which is also new, and tied with a bow of the gold shimmer ribbon. And this is what I'm giving away. If you use my host code, this is my free host code gift. If you use my host code, which is up above right on your screen, for the month of August, and you place a $50 or more order before tax and shipping, and you will get a free roll of that not Be Dazzling, that's the paper, the gold shimmer ribbon, as my thank you for shopping with me and placing a $50 or more order. And I love to give away my free prizes. Okay, and Linda, does the Dazzling paper cut well? You know, the catalog, the Celebration catalog, and let me grab that. Here is where it advertises it, and it does say cutting glittered paper leads to accelerated dulling of blades of dies, I think, or possibly your cutting tool, your paper trimmer or whatever. We had a talk about this, my team and I, the other day, and we are having no trouble. We are noticing no dulling, whether we're using a paper trimmer or the dies. It's working beautifully. Even punching is working beautifully. So again, so if you placed a $50 order with me, 50 or more, you could get this Be Dazzling paper for free. And if you use my host code, I will send you the gold shimmer ribbon, and let me grab that to show you. This is the gold shimmer ribbon that you get free for using my host code and placing a $50 order. So you would get both of those things free just for placing a $50 order with me. And here's where I've used the shimmer ribbon and the Be Dazzling paper. But I bet you want to know the card for today, don't you? Okay, the card for today is this one right here. And isn't that cute? This card uses the shimmer ribbon and, goodness, now I've got all those names in my mind. The Be Dazzling paper, and it's been colored with some of the pale papaya ink, so it is ombre. If you look way down here at the tip, you can see that it's gold down there. I've covered a lot of it up. Well, I thought it was so pretty. I had it poking up here. And this is the card we're going to make today. Now, this card also uses a set that carried over that I really love, and it's called Perfectly Plaid. This stamp set makes the cutest Christmas trees. I just love it. I love the sentiments. You lost your audio? I'm sorry, Linda. Everything here looks fine. Try it again. Okay, good, you got it back. So this is the stamp set, and it has a coordinating punch called the Pine Tree Punch that we're going to use today. And I wanted to show these to you in the annual catalog so that you know where to find them, because they're not in the new mini. Here is the punch on page 150. This is the Pine Tree Punch, and it is fun. Where is my punch here? Oh, right here. It's really easy to use. Okay, very easy to use. The Pine Tree Punch. And then here is the stamp set on page 93 is the Perfectly Plaid Stamp Set, and you can see it down there. So these are in the annual catalog. They're orderable, and I just didn't want anyone to forget about them because I love this set, and I just think it's practical, it's quick and easy, and that's how we're making our card today. It's really pretty quick and easy because I want to spend the time on showing you how to color the Be Dazzling paper. So here we go. I've got a piece that is the size I need for my card, which is 4 inches long by 2 inches wide. I'll try to get this real centered for you so that you can see it. Okay, so here's our Be Dazzling paper. Now, you can spritz it with the Stampin' Up spritzer and alcohol and ink, and I tried that and I liked it, except that it got very wet and it took quite a while to dry, and it did splatter all over, and I prefer things that are neat. That's just me. I don't really like to get messy. So I'm going to show you now. I used on the first sample card I showed you, I used the polished pink ink, but for this piece, for our card, we're using pale papaya. So I'm putting a small clear block. Let me see which block that is. That is the B block, and I'm using my pale papaya ink refill. And what I'm going to do is put some of the ink right on here like that. And I do have wipes handy, just so you know. I would have wipes handy if you try this. And then I just have a paintbrush, an artisty watercolor type paintbrush that I just had around. And what I'm going to do is take the ink and I'm just going to brush it on. It's faster than the spritzing, and also I think it doesn't get as wet, and it really works well. So all I do is just start brushing it right on. The pure ink, not mixed with water or alcohol or anything. And you can move it around. Once it gets on there, you can spread it around and pull it downward on the piece. I'm going to put the ink to the side just so you can see more clearly. You just start pulling the ink down to get that ombre effect, and it moves around. So if you have too much in one spot, you just keep pulling and just blend it down. Now, I wanted to get it just a little bit darker, so I'm going to put a little more of my ink right up in here and just kind of pat it where I want it so that I get more color on the top than on the bottom. And then when I get to the bottom, I just let it kind of blend in. And that's it. Do you see how that's colored? Now it will. Thank you, Linda. Yes, I did go all out on my nails this time. I got my little fingers with polka dots. You know, you gotta have fun, right? I just want to, there's so much going on in the world, and I would like to just have fun. So that's what I did. So I'm going to get out if I can get it here, my wet one. my wipe. And when you're using wipes for your cards, for your stamps and things, it's not the preferred thing to use for stamps. You know, you should use our cleaner because that conditions the stamps. But I use, they're not for babies, they don't have any special conditioner in these wipes because that could not be good for your stamps. So all I do is then I clean my block just like that, and then I also clean my brush. And my personal feeling is that this is a much easier way to go than the spritzing. If you like to spritz, spritz away and spritz with alcohol and the ink refill that you put in. But I think this is just nice and clean, and you know, I can do it right here at my desk without going into the kitchen or anything in it. And then I just set this off to dry while I finish the rest of my card. And this is the silicone mat. We also sell the silicone mat, and you can just wipe that up with your wipe. And now we're all ready to go, and we really haven't even made a mess at all. Isn't that nice? I like it. Okay, let's go on with our card, or let's start our card. So to start, we're going to use a piece of mint macaron cardstock, our standard A2 card, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and scored, let me get my bone folder, scored here at 4 1/4. And the first piece, that's going to be our background piece that we're going to put on. And this will surprise you. This is a piece of the Pansy Petals Designer Series paper. Isn't that interesting? We just had a big sale on that. And so the pansy petals, there you can see the pansies, but this color is Evening Evergreen, and it has also, I think it has soft succulent, and anyway, it goes beautifully with the mint macaron, and I thought it would be really a nice background to our holiday card, our Christmas card. So I'm just going to glue that down to get started. And then we can let that sit to the side also while we work on our trees. And you know I love the glue because you can move your piece around so that you get equal distances on all your corners. So we're just going to set that aside with our piece of Be Dazzled paper just for a while to let those settle down. And now we're going to work on our trees, and we're going to get out our fun pine tree punch. We've got 5 different trees on this card, so we're just going to punch out 5 trees using this punch. And oh, by the way, this fun pale papaya gingham paper is also from the Pansy Petals set. You never know what you're going to find in some of the floral sets. On the background, they have really nice papers that you can use for all different occasions. So there we go. We've got 3 of the gingham, pale papaya gingham stamps now. And don't forget to leave a comment if you're on so that you can be able to win the prize this week. And I'm going to be choosing from people who leave a comment for me. Okay, I'm going to use Evening Evergreen ink here. And this is a stamp, a Christmas tree stamp from the Perfectly Plaid Stamp Set. And it's just a nice little Christmas tree stamp. And I am going to pull in my Stampin' Pierce mat because I want to make sure to get a really good impression here. So I'm going to stamp 2 trees out of this. There's one. Isn't that just a cute stamp? I really like this stamp set. And then here we're going to stamp the next one. And it's so quick. I mean, it is really quick to make a card with this, with the Perfectly Plaid and the pine tree punch. So I'll set that off to the side and we'll punch our trees. Uh-oh. I needed to, the punch is going to go from the bottom up. So I'm going to pull out, excuse me, my little mini trimmer, which actually was a celebration gift a few years ago for joining Stampin' Up. And I love this little trimmer. They don't offer it anymore. But actually, this time during celebration, there is a great offer for joining Stampin' Up, joining my team. and you get a free bundle when you join. You can pick out of 9 different current bundles. Okay, there's one tree. We need 2. And I just want to tell you, it is an absolutely great time to join. I have more hobby demonstrators on my team than I have people who do the business. So if you're a hobby, if you just want to pursue the hobby and you want to get your supplies, your beautiful Stampin' Up! Products at a discount, it's a wonderful time to join. You can get the starter kit for $99 and it ships free. You get $125 worth of product plus a free bundle out of those 9 bundles. And from that point forward, you get every product that you purchase from Stampin' Up! At 20% off. And you have absolutely no obligation all the way until next January. It's a wonderful time to join. And you can just be a hobbyist and get all your favorite products at 20% off for, what is that, 4 or 5 months straight. I would love to have you join my team of sweet stampers, and there's a little link up above, I think, to show you how to do that. Or if you have any questions, email me or comment, and it's also on my blog. Okay, so now we've got our trees and we've got our card going, and we have our piece of Be Dazzling paper. Let's go ahead and glue this down now on our card, and then we'll make our tag sentiment. Okay, so we're just going to glue this down, and then that'll have a chance to dry also, because it's kind of a thick paper. And it's easy to line up because of the stripes, right? Sometimes you wonder how you're going to line something up. Oops, there is a little bit of ink that must have been on the back. Oh my goodness, there's ink all over. Bad. Okay, I'm going to go, oh no, it's getting off on all my fingers. Oh dear, I didn't let it dry long enough. You know what? We're just going to start again, because I don't want to make you a messy card. I'm going to make you a pretty card. So let's start again. And you can just see from the very beginning, I'm going to have to stand up a little bit, and I'm going to get out some mint macaron paper. I'll be right back. I have to get some of the designer series paper, and we'll get our Be Dazzling paper. That is a good caution. I thought that would dry a little bit faster than it did. Okay, we're going to get out our paper trimmer. And this is good. We can make a card from scratch. Actually, here already is a card base out of mint macaron, so I'm just going to score that at 4 1/4. I need to make sure my fingers are clean. Okay. I'm glad we're doing this so that it's a good caution for you and for me too. Okay, so we need a piece 4 by 5 1/4 of this Pansy Petals paper. Let me check, this might already be 4. Yeah, okay, we've got that. And then we're going to cut this might be 4 also. Yep, and we just need a 2-inch strip of this, and we're going to go back and do that all over again. Okay. See how quick that was? It's a really quick card to make. I told you, I promised you it would be. I don't mind doing this because you know what? I know this happens to you guys, and I want to forewarn you of these things also. So let's get back to where we were. I'm thinking of that Beatles song. Get back to where, how does that go? Some of you might know. Heat gun. Do you think that would work, Kay? Okay, you know what? Let's try it. Let's try it this time. Good idea. Very good idea. Okay, so we'll go back, and I might put a little less ink on. What do you think? I might have put too much on. So I'll put less, and we'll see if that won't work better. Because I didn't have this problem the last time. Oops. This is the pink. Well, you know what? We're just going to leave it. We're just going to have pink. Let me get my little pad back. No, you know what? I'm going to add, we won't see that too much, I don't think. Let's just go, we'll give it a little combo. Pink and pale papaya. Polished pink. Okay, so let's try that again. So let's, there we go. That's okay. I just won't use too much at all because I think I must have gotten so excited I put a lot on there with you guys. There, we'll just go like that. And it is a little pinker at the top, isn't it? But that's okay. Very good idea. The only thing I wonder about that, Kay, is that it might melt the paper. I kind of don't want to try it with you guys. So you know what, we'll do some other stuff while we're waiting for that to dry. And let's just blow on it. Just do like this. It's dry enough and hot enough. You'd think it would dry really fast. Okay, let's check out my fingers. Okay, paper, dry. Alrighty, so we have this glued on. We're all ready to go. And let's just go ahead and we're going to make our tag while that dries. This is a sentiment in the Perfectly Plaid Stamp Set. It says, hoping that your busy year comes together in Christmas cheer. I really like that sentiment. And I have a little, I thought I had a little piece of, here we go, of Pale Papaya cardstock. And we're just going to put that on our pad and stamp it with this stamp that I have ready in our Evening Evergreen ink. You know, I've really been waiting for the holidays to use more of this Evening Evergreen ink. It is just beautiful. It really is. And let's get it right side up. Get plenty of ink on there. And then we're just going to stamp it right in the middle because we're going to die cut it with one of the new tailored tags. Okay, there we go. And I've got my little mini boss today that we're going to bring up here to cut our tag out. And where is my die? Here are the tailored tag dies. I think you've seen them. They're in the new annual catalog. And I'm going to use this one right here. I love these dies. Let me turn my little guy around because I'm right-handed. Just get him out there. Okay, can you see? And we'll put our sentiment on, and then putting a tag on a card is a very neat thing to do. It really adds some interest. I like to do that. And let me see if I can get it even. I think that looks pretty good. I know some of you use washi tape to hold your dies on, don't you? I try not to. I just hold it, and usually mine come out pretty good. Of course, you know when I say that, sometimes they don't, but okay. It came out beautifully. So there's our cute little tag. I love these tags, and I'm going to be using them a lot during the holidays. And then we're going to put on a really pretty piece of the Evening Evergreen sheer ribbon. Isn't that what they call this, sheer ribbon? Open weave ribbon, sorry, open weave ribbon. And I have special scissors for my ribbon. You should too, even if it's another pair of our paper snips. Hey Pam, good to see you. Thank you for popping on. Definitely have a special pair of scissors for your ribbon, because then it will always cut really sharp and it won't be dulled in any way by using, you know, by cutting paper and other things. So now we're going to get this little guy in there. And let me see, it's a small hole. It punches kind of a small hole. But if you have kind of an angled end, you can get it started just like that. And now what I'm going to do is tie a bow. You know I like to have plenty of ribbon to make a nice bow. Because I just want to have enough to pull that bow as big or little as I want it to be. So here we go. And I want to put the bow on top of the sentiment, like this. I love ribbons and bows, and Stampin' Up! Has so many pretty ones. You know, if you didn't want to do a ribbon, you could definitely just do a piece of baker's twine, or even put a little rhinestone on the little hole. It's, you know, you're not tied into, just because you use the tags doesn't mean you have to use ribbon or anything. I think that's kind of cute. So we can just go it. No, we need to wait a minute, but this is going to go here. So let me get out my good scissors, my good ribbon scissors. These used to be sold by Stampin' Up! And then they took them out of the catalog. I always hope maybe they'll bring them back. Okay, here we go. I'm going to be very gentle with this and not put my fingers on it, okay? Because we want it to be dry. We're just going to put some glue on it. And I'm just going to lay it down. And just hold it down even with my fingernails, I think, to let it dry. I don't want to touch it too much. But can you see, the second time I don't think I did as nice of a brushing of the ink on there. But when it gets covered up, you won't see it the way you do now. Roz, I'm so glad you did catch me live. Yay! So what we're doing is we are coloring the Be Dazzling paper from the Celebration catalog. And I'm just going to use my fingernail there to just press that down to be sure that's glued down. And then I'm just going to, because we colored it with ink. Actually, I think what I'll do is just tip it right over. Oh, you know what? And that ink was dried. That is so nice. Okay, now we're just going to put our tag on with dimensionals. From now on, we're just going to use, I think we're mostly going to use Stampin' Dimensionals. And we're going to put the tag on first, and then we're going to add our trees all around. And, of course, some little glim and glitz with some little rhinestones. Only I think we're going to use the in-color ones. Jewels, I think they're called. Okay, here we go. And so you want to put the bow kind of so it lines up with the side of your Be Dazzling, paper. Here we go. And now we can just start putting our trees on. What I did to start with, just to give them a little, just some type of a little shape, is that I started by I held them down and I kind of tried to put them in a bit of an angle going up to start, and then I added another one up in here. So let's see, I'm going to set them out, and then that'll help me know how I want them. I'm trying to have have their little something touch from one to the other, you know what I mean? And when you're using the Be Dazzling paper, you really need, the thing that adheres best on the front, if you're adhering something on the front, is a Stampin' Dimensional. Thank you, Roz. Allison. You use another piece of paper on top when you don't want to smear. Thank you. I think I learned something there. It didn't happen the first time, though. Okay, so there's our first tree. And then we're going to put this one. And like I said, just using dimensionals, I'm going to put this dimensional, and it looks funny because it's the back of that pansy paper, right? I'm going to put this dimensional on the right side because I want it to come over here as much as possible. And up. Okay. It did end up going on the paper, the Be Dazzling, but that's okay. And then this one, let's see. Maybe I'll put the one on the right down first, because we want to space them nicely. Kind of like how you might put the center first and then the two sides, or the two sides first and then the center of something. Okay, so we're going to have that tucked under just a little bit. And then that helps us to know where to put this guy. And on these, I'm using 2 dimensionals. Aren't these trees just cute, though? I mean, really, this this pine tree punch is just so handy for Christmas. I love it. Okay, so we're going to put that down kind of like that. Don't want to cover any words. And then we have our one last, and actually, you know what, I think I did actually glue that one last one, just so it's a different level than the others. So let's put a little bit of glue on the back of that. And then we'll just, let's see, how did I do that? I do want to set it off just a hair from the one below it. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And now, the jewels. Okay, these are the 2012-2013 in color jewels. And one reason I wanted to use them is because they have the pale papaya and the evening evergreen. And I feel like this bow is just getting a little carried away there. Let's make him a little bit smaller here. A little more in proportion. That looks a little better, doesn't it? I think so. Turn it just a bit. And you know, if your bows get going a direction you don't like, all you have to do is put a little glue dot under there. Alrighty, let's see what we've got here. So this is the polished pink pale papaya and the evening evergreen, and then we have the fresh freesia and soft succulent. And I usually use my scissors, so I'm just going to take some of the evening evergreen ones and I'm going to put those on top of the papaya trees. I think they look really sparkly. I really like these. They really show off well. Let's get that one a little more centered. Okay, one more. Right there. And then we'll use the pale papaya ones for the green trees. Right? I really like this card. I really do. Now, the one thing we haven't done though is put something on the inside, because when you open the inside, it's not really, it's much nicer to have a piece of basic white paper. So I'm going to bring back in my stamp pad, my evening evergreen, and I'm going to stamp that tree again, if I can find where I put him. Here it is. And because our card is in a landscape type position, let me grab my pad, my Stampin' Pierce mat, because you really do get a better impression when you can use a magazine. You could use your catalog if you wanted to. Okay, and we're going to put our little tree right here, our pine tree. And then, oops, let's just go ahead and stamp the envelope while we're at it. We might as well, right? You like the gingham trees, Allison. I do too. Well, I like gingham, period. I think most of us do. This is the envelope. I have to remember to stamp it down at the bottom. Sometimes I just get carried away if I'm stamping. Stamp, stamp, stamp. Okay, now we're going to glue our inside in to our pretty card. Isn't that just adorable? And you remember how you see how the coloring shows up there, and it looks great. I think the first time I just used way too much. I was just excited. I do get excited about stamping, don't you? I really love to stamp. Okay, so we're going to put this right in here, and look how nice that looks. It just carries the theme of the card right to the inside. Personally, I like to write my own sentiment on the inside of my cards. I know a lot of you like to stamp your sentiment on the inside, and I think that's wonderful. I like to actually hand write my sentiment. So there's our card for today. Isn't that pretty? I really like it, and I'll show you the sample again, the other sample that I had, if I can find it. Here it is. Using the Whimsical Trees stamp set. So there you can see both cards. Put that one over like that. And they both use the colored Be Dazzling paper. Okay, now I want to remind you about the prize for this week. Last week our prize was won by Robbie, and I'm going to send that to her this week. And the prize for next week, for anyone who comments, all of you who commented, you're going to be put your names. I wait till next Wednesday to leave plenty of time for comments, and I choose randomly from all of your names, and one person will get a package of basic white envelopes, which are going to come in so handy with Christmas coming up, the holidays, and all the different cards. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you would like to join my team, no obligation. I love my hobby stampers. It's a great time to join, and you can join with no obligation all the way through January of this month, of next year rather, and you can buy everything you want for 20% off once you join until January of next year. Call me, text me, comment, email me, Peggy at prettypapercards.com, and I'll tell you all about it. So thank you so much. I'll just do it this way, and I will see you next Wednesday. Have a wonderful week and stay cool. Okay, bye-bye.